Hi, I'm Keir Simmons, and welcome to the Royal Rundown. It's been 1 year since Queen Elizabeth passed away after more than 70 years on the throne. But there will be no official public events in the UK to commemorate her passing. In fact, King Charles plans to spend the day not here at Buckingham Palace, but, quote, quietly and privately in Scotland. The last 12 months for the King have been anything but quiet. Nearly everything changed from the life he knew just 12 months ago. Over the next half hour, we'll explore those changes. Plus, what's to come for the rest of the royal family? William and Kate, how will they evolve the future monarchy? And what can we hope to see from other members moving forward? We'll answer all that. But first, let's recap the last year and give you a royal rundown of where the monarchy was and is today. Take a look. This morning, marking a year since her passing, the palace releasing this picture of Queen Elizabeth aged 42, chosen by her son and heir. King Charles and Queen Camilla attending a private memorial in Scotland, while the Prince and Princess of Wales, William and Catherine, heading to a separate service in Wales. Prince Harry in town for a charity event last night.
I know exactly 1 year on that she is looking down on all of us tonight.
Overnight, King Charles releasing an audio message to mark his mother's passing 1 year ago.
We recall with great affection her long life, devoted service, and all she meant to so many of us.
The Queen's passing was a moment in history, the closing of a 70-year-long royal chapter. Her dedication to duty evident to the end. During her final days, she appointed a new Prime Minister. Her family, her nation, and the world knew this day would come, but many seemed unprepared.
I think in many ways the announcement of the Queen's death 12 months ago was a deep shock to most Brits, even though she was in her mid-90s, even though we knew that she'd had failing health, because of what it stood for, because of how it made us all feel about our place in the world and how she had been this continuity for most of our lifetimes.
God save the King.
Since that day, it's been quite a year. Prince Charles became King Charles, his son and their wives reunited, briefly. Then the funeral, full of the pomp and ceremony of days past, attended by world leaders and ordinary people whose lives she'd touched, though it seemed like everyone had their own special memory. The King's new role brought many unfamiliar moments, each one poignant as the last with the Queen missing. This his first state banquet as monarch, and it has brought new responsibilities for other royals, most notably William and Kate, now Prince and Princess of Wales.
I think we've definitely seen William and Kate stepping into the limelight, taking centre stage, sharing the stage, of course, with Camilla and with Charles, but certainly being very, very pivotal.
They travelled to the US to award their Earthshot Prize, a successful trip, but overshadowed by one of King Charles' first crises, new allegations of racism in Buckingham Palace, vehemently denied by the royal family. And as the royals prepared for Christmas, Harry and Meghan delivered an unwelcome gift.
They were happy to lie to protect my brother.
Their Netflix show making headlines, causing more controversy for the new King Charles.
I said, we need to get out of here.
Who's next?
And in the new year, another scandal. The publication of Prince Harry's book, Spare, with private details of royal life, and even an allegation of a physical altercation with his brother. The King's sons far from united under his reign. Thankfully for Charles, the coronation was staged without a hitch.
God save the King!
God save the King! Harry attending, though without Meghan, and Camilla for the first time referred to as Queen rather than Queen Consort. The balcony moment framing a new, scaled-down royal family, with the younger generation, William and Kate's children, George, Charlotte and Louis, very much in the spotlight. Prince Andrew unequivocally on the outside after scandals that have not disappeared. For King Charles, it has been a far from easy year, but then stepping into his mother's role, who made everything seem so easy, was never going to be without challenges. Her legacy of hard work, duty and quiet continuity seems alive in her heir, though there will never be a monarch quite like her again. My goodness, so much has changed with this family and with the family business. And there's no one better to help us break it down than royal commentator Daisy McAndrew. Hey, Daisy.
How are you?
So, King Charles will this year mark his mother's passing privately. Do you think that's a tradition he's going to continue?
Yes, I think all the signs are pointing in that direction. We know that the Queen used to do the same thing. On February the 6th, the anniversary of her father's death, she would be in Sandringham where he had died on that day, quietly thinking about him, collecting her thoughts, a private day away from the scrutiny of the public. And that's certainly what we think Charles will continue to do after this year. Go to the place, Balmoral in this instance, where his mother died, and have no public engagements, be there with his wife Camilla, thinking about the past year and thinking about the Queen.
It's been a roller coaster year for the King in so many ways. What are the key moments, the key changes, if you like, this past 12 months that you would pick out?
Well, of course, I think once the dust had settled from the coronation, which was the big event formally marking his accession to the throne, after that, it was really all eyes on Charles to see what he might change and what he might keep the same as before. And I think some people have been surprised that it's been more of a continuity reign than any dramatic changes. And certainly those around him are saying that's what he wanted. He didn't want to frighten the horses in some ways, but start the hard work of changing things from the inside out. Some people slightly disappointed that there haven't been more shake-ups. For instance, a lot of people expected by now we would have heard that some of the buildings, like Buckingham Palace, might have become more open to the public. Yeah. So far, little action on that.
Yeah, scaled down royal family. Where's that right now, right?
And on that issue, the scaled-down royal family, of course, we have seen some moves behind the scenes to try to cut things down, slim down the scale and the expense, namely trying to evict his brother Andrew from Royal Lodge in Windsor. Other things, though, I think we've seen him embrace some of the issues that he wants to be known for. We've got a big project coming forward where he's trying to affect food waste, reducing food waste. And that's one of those issues, it's not party political, so it's not controversial, but it's clearly something that aligns with the King's own morals and things he feels passionately about.
Do you think the public here are warming to him?
I do. There have been a couple of polls in the last few weeks. There's been an Ipsos Mori one, there's been a YouGov one, asking people how, if at all, their opinion has changed of the royals and of Charles in particular in the last year. And both of those polls have been quite positive. They have shown an uptick in popularity. As ever, it's the younger demographic that he's got an issue with, and I think we'll see more in the coming months and years trying to appeal to those people.
What about the younger royals, the box office members of the royal family, if you like, William and Kate and their children? How have they been doing in the past year, and what do you think we're going to see from them?
We've seen more of them, which is exactly what we expected all along. Of course, William now being the heir to the throne, being the Prince of Wales, and Catherine being the Princess of Wales. And we have seen them really take centre stage. You and I have talked a lot over the past couple of years, expecting that to happen, that it would be a foursome, really, of Kate, William, Camilla, Charles, who would be at the helm of this family, and I think that's exactly what we've seen.
Thank you, Daisy. And after the break, the Prince and Princess of Wales, right in the centre of the spotlight, as we were just talking about. What responsibilities have they taken over from King Charles, and what we will see now of their littlest, the members of the royal family? That's all coming up. Welcome back to the Royal Rundown. Queen Elizabeth's death established Prince William as the heir apparent to the British throne. He's already taken on this new role with ease, but there will be more duties in the years ahead for him, his wife, and their children. NBC's Kelly Kobiea has more. Take a look.
After the Queen's passing last year, the line of succession shifted for the monarchy, bringing new responsibilities for members of the royal family and new titles for William and Kate, the Prince and Princess of Wales. With the world watching, the Prince and Princess have stepped into their new roles.
Our new Prince and Princess of Wales will, I know, continue to inspire and lead our national conversations.
The two holding multiple titles, which is quite typical for the royal family, also known as the Duke and Duchess of Cornwall and Cambridge. William takes over as the Duke of Cornwall from his father, traditionally held by the eldest son of the reigning British monarch, inheriting the Duchy of Cornwall, an estate that includes more than 130,000 acres of land worth over $1 billion. While William and Kate have always been among the most beloved royals, their actions now carry more significance than ever. It's said that the Queen brought her son Charles into the fold on official matters, a blueprint he'll likely replicate to prepare William for his eventual reign.
I shall strive to follow the inspiring example I have been set.
Royal watchers expect King Charles will rely heavily on his eldest son as both an advisor and an extension of the crown. As their royal roles evolve, the Prince and Princess of Wales will continue to champion causes close to them, like the environment.
It's my hope the Earthshot legacy will continue to grow, helping our communities and our planet to thrive.
Mental health.
Catherine and I launched this campaign last year. I'm extremely proud.
Ending homelessness with the launch of Homewards and early childhood development.
Does it make you feel better when you talk about your feelings? Yeah.
As seen in the launch of Princess Kate's campaign, Shaping Us, earlier this year. And although Prince William won't receive any formal training to one day be king, it's a job he's been preparing for his whole life.
His lessons in kingship started by his grandmother's knee, and he has had in both his grandmother and his father great mentors.
William, Kate, and their family represent a new chapter in the monarchy.
You look at Kate and William, a young, working couple with a young family juggling the school run with their interests, with Kate and her early learning, with William and his environmental awards. You can see that they are meant to be not dissimilar to us. Therefore, we should and could and hopefully will feel a connection to them.
This shift brings about change for William and Kate's children as well. Prince George, now second in line for the throne, followed by his sister, Princess Charlotte, and brother, Prince Louis. We've seen much more of the children than usual over the last year, from the coronation to Wimbledon.
They are the future. Kate will one day be a big part of a future coronation, as will George. And I think any reminders to the British public, this is the future. The future of the royal family is in safe and popular hands. That's very valuable.
All eyes will be on the Prince and Princess of Wales as they continue to settle into their new roles, marking the beginning of a new era for the royal family.
The Prince and Princess of Wales are not the only ones at work. With the Duke and Duchess of Sussex stepping down as senior royal members and the Queen's passing, there have been more family members representing the Crown at events and charitable organisations. Take a look. As the royal family and the British nation adjusted to life without Queen Elizabeth II,
the ability to have somebody who is kind of epitomises what you think your country stands for has always been a major ambition.
a group of royals moved closer to centre stage, most notably the King's siblings, Princess Anne and Prince Edward, who were named Councillors of the State by King Charles, giving them the power to stand in the King's place in the event that he is unwell or unable to fulfil a particular duty. Princess Anne was the first to return to royal duties at the start of 2023, one of her first trips of the year to Cyprus, meeting with British peacekeepers and paying tribute to Commonwealth soldiers who died at war. The Princess Royal had a very busy spring, travelling to New Zealand, where she met the first responders in the wake of a cyclone that hit the country, visiting the Wellington Barracks to meet and thank officers participating in King Charles's coronation, and paying tribute to veterans at the National Memorial Arboretum. But one of Princess Anne's most memorable moments was, of course, receiving a special role in the coronation of King Charles III. She served as Gold Stick in Waiting, a role similar to a bodyguard, and led the grand royal procession from Westminster Abbey to Buckingham Palace. Anne's brother, Prince Edward, started the year with a major moment, inheriting his late father's title of Duke of Edinburgh on his 59th birthday, while his wife Sophie became Duchess.
Thank you very much indeed for welcoming us to Edinburgh today on indeed a very special and for a slightly overwhelming day for now my Duchess.
The Duke and Duchess attended their first event with their new titles, meeting with members of the Ukrainian community at Edinburgh's City Chambers to mark 1 year since the city's formal response to the invasion of Ukraine. He also became patron of the Duke of Edinburgh Award in his father's place and hosted a meeting with 10 award participants.
There will be future generations of people turning up here for the awards thinking that I was responsible for this, but it's not true. It was indeed my father.
And visited the May Murray Foundation in Ireland, helping people of all ages and abilities participate in water activities.
You're going in, and just for a swim, or do you like going on the surfboard?
I'm going on the surfboard.
You're going on the surfboard.
Prince Edward's wife Sophie has followed in the footsteps of her late father-in-law Prince Philip by choosing agriculture and farm life as one focus area of her official work. Earlier this year, she was named President of the Driffield Agricultural Society and even became the first UK royal ever to visit Baghdad in an effort to support women and gender equality around the world. Though left with huge shoes to fill, it seems those royals, once waiting in the wings, are stepping into the spotlight. Only time will tell if this trend continues or King Charles has something else up his sleeve for the future. Coming up, we switch gears to the Invictus Games. Prince Harry's beloved charitable event kicks off tomorrow in Germany. Stay with us. Welcome back. While Prince Harry has stepped away from his royal duties, his charitable efforts are still in full swing. Supporting wounded veterans is still very close to his heart. In fact, the Invictus Games kicks off this weekend in Germany. Last year, he invited our very own Hoda Kotb to the Games in the Netherlands and gave her a behind-the-scenes look at what the event is all about. Take a look.
Stop it. Wait, the gang's all here? Come here. I need to see y'all.
The wiggly toes.
Both Prince Harry and the Rodriguez family know just how important a support system is.
Let's go! Don't stop pushing!
And this is the pep squad for Joel Rodriguez, a U.S. Army retired staff sergeant.
Is it fun watching your dad?
Yeah.
Is he super fast?
Yeah.
How fast is he?
Like, he could go 30 miles per hour.
Whoa! To son Elijah, 10-month-old daughter Layla, and his wife Liani, Joel is a superhero.
What is he teaching your kids?
He definitely is teaching them to get up every day, to work hard, to go after everything that you want, right? And stick to it no matter what happens, wins, losses, whatever, just keep going in life.
Prior to 2014, Joel was a passionate Army sergeant, but a devastating car accident not only derailed Joel's Army career, but left him with a fractured neck and a severe spinal cord injury.
A lot of people would have thought these are the cards I'm dealt. This is what I get, and I have to live with this. And maybe I've taken it kind of slowly through life. You did the total opposite, man. You went all the way in.
You said cards, and that's funny because when my wife came to see me in probably a day after my surgery, she was like, "Are you okay?" I said, "Well, these are the cards I have, so I have to play them." And I said, "So I'm just going to do what I can to be the best person I can in this situation." And I mean, I'm still doing it. That's all we can do.
What does it mean to watch these guys and women just shine like this?
As far as I'm concerned, they've shone throughout their careers anyway, right? You know, to be able to see Joel and his family just flourish in moments like this, it means everything. But it comes back to the very simple thing, which is the power of sport. You know, not just physical, but the mental rehabilitation that it takes is phenomenal.
And Joel is in good company, surrounded by 500 competitors from 19 nations, where camaraderie and resilience are celebrated at the Invictus Games, like retired military petty officer Jacob Cox.
Awesome.
I want you to have those.
Wait, these really are for me?
Yes, those are for you.
Just because?
Just because. I want you to have them. Is that okay?
That was really nice. Thank you. Oh my God, that was so sweet.
For Jacob, who is visually impaired, the 100-meter is an incredible feat.
I'm legally blind, so I run with a blindfold and a guide. Yeah, so,
holy moly.
So my guide has to put in all the work because he has to run his races and run them again for me.
And retired Air Force Tech Sergeant Gonzalez, who suffered a head injury during a training exercise while on active duty.
Retired in 2016 from the Air Force. Severe PTSD, TBI, and other neurological ailments, and wasn't able to function, wasn't able to do my job, and I could no longer serve. So like my whole world was over, my heart was broken, and I was suicidal. And then I saw a video of the Invictus games, and I was like, what is this? I'm going to do what I can to find how to get involved. Competed in 8 individual events, and I not only won, I won by 11 points. And then a month later, they said, you got a spot on Team US.
Okay, so. I can't. For these athletes, the Invictus Games has played a part in their recovery, showing resilience goes beyond the battlefield.
When we come back, Harry Smith looks back at the extraordinary life of Queen Elizabeth, woven through nearly a century of world history. Welcome back. On February the 6th, 1952, 25-year-old Princess Elizabeth was travelling with her husband Philip in Kenya when she got a phone call with the news that her father, King George VI, had died and she would be the Queen of England. She held that title for over 70 years. We end the show with a look back at the Queen on the front row of a century of history. Here's Harry Smith.
Declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service and to the service of our great imperial family to which we all belong.
When Elizabeth took the throne in 1953, her country didn't have enough food to feed itself. Yes, still recovering from World War II, Britain would not suspend food rationing for another year. Yet there she was, in a first, a worldwide telecast. Hers was a realm that was hungry for a monarch who might lead it into the modern world, a sovereign who could put shine back on the remnants of an empire that had sacrificed all it could. Her Majesty would do all that and more, of course. She was a queen who would be both regal on the throne and reliable as a rudder in stormy seas, both personal and political. We asked around the office, can you name another queen besides Queen Latifah and Aretha Franklin? Nobody. Thanks to shows like The Crown, we think we got a glance into royal responsibilities.
There's a delicate matter which I felt I needed to discuss with you in person.
Concerning what?
Your position.
Those meetings with the prime ministers? Wow. She saw them all. 15 of them, starting with Winston Churchill. And just days ago, Liz Truss. Look at her scrapbook of presidents. Harry Truman when she was a princess, riding horses with Ronald Reagan. Talk about a photo op. Elizabeth was a presence, both familiar and utterly unknowable. Gossip about the royal family is an industry in the UK. Here in the US, we hire royal watchers to help us divine the mysteries of Buckingham Palace and Balmoral Castle. Uneasy lies the head that wears the crown, wrote Shakespeare. Hers was a life both enviable and unescapable, human, not divine. Our favorite images of Elizabeth? Her coming face-to-face with local folks at the opening of a who knows what. The work, as royals call it. Imagine meeting the Queen. Untold thousands have. We loved the Queen with her corgis. We liked her wearing wellies. We smiled when she smiled, and she smiled a lot when she watched a horse race, if she won. We were there when Her Majesty visited Washington, D.C. in 1991. The sometimes stuffy and self-involved city went gaga. Not a cynic in sight. Not bad for a monarch in a town and a country who long ago made it clear monarchy is not our thing. Really? For Sunday Today, Harry Smith, New York.
A legacy that will live on forever. Thank you for joining me this half hour as we honour the anniversary of Queen Elizabeth's passing. I'm Keir Simmons. See you next time on Today All Day.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.